Good morning, Fort Worth. It is 27 February. You've got Andrew and the oh-so-funny Brian Breckenridge is here with us today, folks. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, morning.
We got a good show lined up for you today. It's our Thursday episode where we try to get you lined up on events happening over the weekend and say farewell to you until Monday. We release these episodes Monday through Thursday at 8 a.m. every morning, and you guys can find it on all streaming services. Just look for Fort Worth Roots. We also have videos associated with these on YouTube. Just look for Fort Worth Roots. And if you ever want to get something out on the show, take an audio recording on your phone, send that as an email to fortworthroots@media@fortworthroots.com, and we'll get it on the show. I think we've got one that I'm going to play for you probably after Sky Viper. We've got some segments this morning. We're going to start off with weather, National Day of, This Day in History, some news stories, Fort Worth stuff, a little bit of international news, and then we've got Sky Viper, allegedly. We've got a traffic helicopter that reports on the happenings out there on the roadways, so look forward to that. Let's see if we can get away with it. We're going to try to play this before Sky Viper calls in.
Good morning, all you Fort Worth Roots listeners. I hope your Thursday is going well. This is Jason Wiseman with the Real House Foundation, and I just wanted to remind all of you out there that we have our big fundraiser on Saturday, March 1st at Stage West Theater starting at 4 p.m. We will have 2 surprise movies, appetizers, raffles, auctions, a cash bar, and more fun than you can possibly imagine. All of our proceeds go to fostering the next generation of film lovers and providing the cinematic experience to those kids in our community that may not always have that opportunity. You can find out more at our website at realhousefoundation.org. Hope to see you guys on Saturday.
Excellent. Thanks for the call in. And you guys can do that as well by sending in an audio clip to media@fortworthroots.com. We want to tell the city about your event, so include us in your rollout for your next big event. All right, we're going to get into the weather real quick. We've got a real sad news story coming up that if you already kind of looked at the news, you've probably already heard about it, but that's coming up in a minute. All right, today's going to be 72 for a high, 41 for a low, and it is just nothing but the same all the way through the weekend, but our chances of rain have gone up. Friday, it's 78 for a high, 48 for a low. Saturday is 78 for a high, 47 for a low. Sunday, 71 for a high, 55 for a low, with PM showers, 55%. That's been a lot lower all week, so I guess our rain chances are going up. Next week, it's looking about like it was this week, and I'm scanning forward. We got 66% chance of rain, AM thunderstorms next Tuesday. All right, so now you know. National Day of, there's about 24 of these or 100 every day of the year, and they get dumber every time we read them. February 27th is International Polar Bear Day, National Pastry Week, and is that insomnia? Is that how you say that?
No, anosmia.
Anosmia Awareness Day. All right, let's click on it.
Oh, okay.
Anosmia Awareness Day is observed on the 27th of February every year. It is a day to spread awareness about anosmia, which is the loss of sense of smell, or as some people call it, nose blind. Did you know that loss of smell is associated with diseases that affect brain cells like Alzheimer's in the future? Shit.
It's called COVID.
That's terrible. Yeah. Yeah, apparently it's because it's affecting your brain. I had no idea. That is actually pretty scary. All right, we have some more interesting ones here. Digital Learning Day, boo. Dominican Republican Independence Day. Fat Thursdays today. We've got a lot of Mardi Gras stuff happening this weekend. We'll get into some of that. Feast of St. Vartan. International Polar Bear Day. We talked about that already. National Chili Day. And National Pokemon Day. This is just insane. Okay, onward. This day in history, February 27th, the Boer War executions. Australian lieutenants in Boer War executed. Australian Lieutenants Harry the Breaker Morant and Peter Hancock are executed for war crimes during the Second Boer War. Never heard of it. Help for Pisa Tower, 1964. Italy requests help to keep Pisa's tower from toppling. Have you ever watched a documentary on how much they have put into trying to keep that damn thing from falling over? It's wild, and it's extensive. A cathedral's 791-year-old bell tower in the Italian city of Pisa, always a little askew, is now in real danger of collapsing completely. Italy puts out a call for a straight solution. Yeah, I watched a documentary on all the engineering techniques that they've tried over the decades to try to keep that thing upright.
Just let it go.
At some point.
Gravity always wins.
The occupation of Wounded Knee begins, sparked by a combination of tribal corruption. In 1973 on this day, the U.S. government mishandling of treaties, members of the American Indian Movement, and about 200 Oglala Lakota seize and occupy Wounded Knee, South Dakota.
Like the aquifer?
I don't know.
There's an aquifer named after the Oglala.
Well, maybe it is.
One thing I remember from geology.
Law enforcement agencies will cordon off the area, and the occupation will last until May. 2002, Gurdwara train burning. There was a train that burned in 2002. Hindu pilgrims die in burning train. A train returning from the disputed holy site of Ayodhya erupts in flames outside Gurdwara station in Uttar Pradesh, India, killing 56 Hindu pilgrims. A 6-year investigation into the incident will conclude that the fire was started deliberately by a Muslim bomb, though decisive evidence will prove elusive. Okay. All right, let's get into the local news stories for today. Let's see what we got here. Fort Worth endorses affordable apartment developments across the city. Fort Worth city leaders February 25th endorsed plans for 4 affordable housing developments across the city. Stamp of approval bolstered the developers' applications for coveted housing tax credits. Federal tax write-offs designed to give landowners more financial leeway to offer discounts for units' low-income tenants. Should the projects receive tax credits, Fort Worth will waive up to $30,000 in developmental fee to help get the ventures off the ground. I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like if you're living in an apartment, they should try to make it affordable anyway?
You'd think.
Pull that mic closer to your mouth, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been drinking my coffee, so I don't want to.
Well, that's the priority right now, for sure. All right. StarTelegram.com story is by Emerson Claridge. Muscle car crashes through wall of recently closed Fort Worth bakery.
What is this, Oklahoma?
No, this is. Do you recognize where this is? Are you a? This is on.
A little familiar.
It's on White Settlement. It's Pearl Snap Kolache's building. A speeding car crashed Wednesday into a former bakery in northwest Fort Worth. The Dodge Challenger crashed about 3 a.m. into the building in the 4,000 block of White Settlement Road, in which a bakery and cafe, Pearl Snap Kolache's, operated until it permanently closed on January 31st. It's just crazy. Anyway, and thanks Fort Worth Star Telegram for putting a paywall here. I'm not going to pay for it. So you guys, if you have a subscription to Star Telegram, you can read it there, or you can go get it from anybody else that's got the same story for free.
Or if you're on your phone, hit read only on Safari, and that usually skips it.
Cool. Here's a crazy one. Body found at Fort Worth ISD Elementary School grounds. It wasn't a kid. Fox4news.com story by Amber Kite. The brief. A body was found at Fort Worth Elementary School on Friday. Authorities say the person died of natural causes, according to school officials. The identity of the body has not been released. Anyway, the whole story, all I wanted to know is who found the body. Parents were emailed Friday afternoon around 2:30 p.m., letting them know that, it's okay, everything's cool, but we did find a dead body. It's crazy. But yeah, they don't know who found the body. So I don't know. That seems like a detail that would definitely make it into the...
I hope a janitor or a nurse or somebody.
Anybody but the kids, right? Yeah. Jesus. I don't think it was the kids.
Otherwise, you got to give them at least half a day.
Half a day? You get half a day if you find a dead body?
And then their education's put further behind.
In Fort Worth? Oh, come on. Their education could never fall to the wayside in Fort Worth. That's been a constant story lately. School closures and all sorts of madness in Fort Worth ISD.
Ain't teaching them anything good anyways.
Not with that attitude. All right. Here's our good news story for the day to wash all that down. Colorado woman donates kidney to save Pennsylvania man 35 years after they went to prom together.
Aww.
That is a long description, and I think it could have been a lot shorter if they just put, choose your prom date carefully. Because they might have a kidney you need later.
He must have went all out. He must have had a limo and everything. That left an impact.
It definitely left an impact. Despite holding the presidency of the student council and being voted most likely to succeed, 16-year-old Sean Moyer had his prom night invitation declined. Moyer needed a backup. Oh, my God.
Wow.
She was the backup.
Wow.
And though he didn't know it at the time, the young lady with ringlet curls and an ear-to-ear smile he found would end up saving his life 35 years later with a kidney donation. Key to this remarkable story is the University of Pennsylvania Medical Center's innovative paired exchange program. Let's say you want to donate a kidney to a friend, but the two of you don't genetically match. The program will match your kidney with someone in need, and in return bump your friend up to the top of the waiting list. Well, 35 years ago, Moyer invited Elena Hershey to the Dallastown area high school senior prom, a decision that would change his life. You guys can read on It's a Wild Story at the goodnewsnetwork.org, and that story was by Andy Corbley, who writes most of the good news stories over there, I believe.
I want to know, like, who was the first, like, did he go for, like, the head cheerleader? That was, like, an obvious no, but, like, a 2% chance he would say yes, and then he went with, like, the obvious choice?
Maybe.
I want to know who the first choice was. Was he just shooting a shot?
Well,
and just saying, like, maybe I get the head cheerleader.
I think that if he had have actually gotten the date that he wanted,
he'd be dead.
He would not be getting that kidney anytime soon. You know what I mean? So, anyway, kids, listen up.
Some news story.
Maybe that sparkly prize at the end of the tunnel, that girl or that guy that you want to take to the prom, maybe that's not the one for you. Maybe you need your backup. Go with that instead of being your backup. Make that your primary, because they might have a kidney you need later.
Yeah, don't always go to your safety pick first. You'll have the better time, obviously.
All right, I should have read this before the good news story. We tried to save all these for the middle, but yeah, if you guys opened your phone at all today, you might have seen that we lost one of our legends. And do you know how old he was?
95 years young.
95, yep. Francis Ford Coppola leads tributes to Gene Hackman after Oscar winner found dead alongside wife and dog. It doesn't say that in this article, but I read that this morning. So him, his wife, and his dog were found dead yesterday.
I can see him dying.
He's 95. His wife is like 30 years younger.
But his wife, it's kind of like, why did she die? Now, if they're both dead, and it's depending on how long, the dog's going to die, but also how long does it take a dog to starve? There's some questions here. We need to find out. But him dying at 95, hey, well done.
Yeah, no
we should all be so lucky.
But I mean, to me, it's like, okay, she's 30 years younger. The dog's dead too. It had to be like a gas leak or something.
Yeah, I mean,
Francis Ford Coppola has paid tribute to his The Conversation star Gene Hackman after he was found dead at 95 alongside his wife Betsy in their Santa Fe home on Wednesday. There's a quote, skipping it. On X, Edgar Wright simply remembered Hackman as the greatest. Okay, looking for details here. Hackman was considered one of the greatest screen performers. Goes on to cite all of his movies. Where are the details? There are none.
Of the death?
Oh, here we go. No immediate cause of death could be given. Hackman was 95. No indication of foul play. Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office are doing the investigation. Okay. So, I mean, there's literally no details here, except they don't think he was murdered. So, I mean, that's good.
Who'd murder a 95-year-old?
Especially Gene Hackman, man. He put out some good movies.
That's probably the lowest paying hit for an assassination.
Somebody
hey, dude, you want to make $30? Can you go kill this 95-year-old? He's had it coming for like 40 years.
Did you hear the bit?
His paperwork got lost.
Somebody did a bit on how you should, if you're going to be convicted of murder and then tried for it, your sentence should reflect their age at the time,
Mm.
So if you murder somebody that's 95 years old, then
You get let's say just make it even like an even 100. You get your sentence is the remainder to 100.
Okay, yeah.
Like, murder a 30-year-old, 70 years, buddy,
You really did it now. All right. SpaceX, our space news story for the day. SpaceX rocket will launch another private lunar lander today. Here's how to watch. Top
look
line.
up.
Look up. SpaceX will launch an intuitive machine's Athena lunar lander toward the moon South Pole on Wednesday, marking the latest mission by Intuitive Machine to explore the moon's surface after completing the first ever lunar landing by a private company last year. So they're doing it again. Key facts: SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket is scheduled to launch from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 7:17 p.m. while equipped with the lander. They're going to live stream it for you on NASA starting at 6:32 p.m. Post updates on its X account. Cool. Anyway, there's your space news. Now it's time. We got to hurry. We got to get into the events. I guess we're not getting Sky Viper today, folks. By the way, Matt Stubbs, we're putting out an ad in the Fort Worth Weekly looking for a standby Sky Viper pilot. We need it. We need it bad.
Oh, is Stubbs a pilot? I didn't know that.
Yeah, we got him 2 times out of the last 3 weeks, I think. It's been rough. He needs some help. We're going to get him some help. All right, here's your events for the weekend. Uh-oh, I just got a text. Says I forgot.
Way to go, Stubbs.
All right, Magnolia Motor Lounge this weekend. Let's see, today, the 27th, we got Playtown Big Mike. Doors at 7, showtime 8 to 11. You guys just make sure you do some checking, and if they do a cover at the door, I don't think it says here. Advanced tickets and table reservations available at mmlbar.com. On the 28th, so Friday, Reed Brothers, doors at 7, showtime 9. The Statesboro Review, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Review?
Yeah, review. It's like an oldie term for a show.
So that's happening on the 1st. Claire Hinkle, who we had on our show last Tuesday, and that episode will be out to you Friday. Claire Hinkle is going to be playing at the Post on Saturday, March 1st, and it's her debut show, supported by Jesse England. Doors at 7, and it's a free show. It's going to be pretty cool. And I think there's some other people on the bill that night, but I'm not seeing it here.
God forbid you have Facebook events. So easy to fill out. Have the relevant events, music promoters, anyone running a show. When are doors, and when does the show fucking start? Sorry, I swear. No, I mean swear. You didn't tell me where the cuss or not.
You're doing okay. You're all right. I think we're allowed one F-bomb.
Tell me when doors are. Who, what, when, where, why. Doors, part of the when. Show start, part of the when. And just, I hate when I'm like, well, I guess I'll get there around here.
I guess I'll figure it out myself. Yeah. Okay. Weird Wednesday, Night Market and Macabre Alley. Bunch of vendors. Starts at 5. First of all, you need to know this is at Southside Preservation Hall, located at 1519 Lipscomb Street. This is happening next Wednesday, March 5th. And we like to tell you guys about this because Southside Preservation Hall is a 501c, and they're trying to keep this historical building running for you guys. It's a great community center, and there is no better time to go out there than for Weird Wednesdays. I think it's the first Wednesday of every month. Okay, so 5 p.m. Night Market, 7 p.m. Vintage Video Pre-Show, and they always have a great video on, but you don't know what it is until you get there, usually. And then 8 p.m. there's a secret movie screening, 70s Blaxploitation. I don't know what that is.
So 70s movies made by black people. Very poor description of blaxploitation.
Right? Did you make that up?
No, that's like
that's not how it's
Shaft, like Shaft.
Oh, okay.
You damn right. Shaft was like blaxploitation, I believe.
Okay.
I'm no blaxploitation expert.
Well, you sure sounded like it there.
It's a whole genre. It's a whole genre of movies.
Okay, I didn't know that. Weird Wednesday is Fort Worth's longest-running night market and movie screening series. The night market featuring over 40 local artists, collectors, and small businesses. Y'all can check out more on that on Facebook events. And Fort Worth Music Festival 2025 starts tomorrow, February 28th at 7 p.m. Goes until March 2nd, so all weekend long. It's going to be at Tannehill's Tavern Music Hall, 122 East Exchange Street. More information on Facebook events. It's going to be at Tannehill's. Okay. And then looking forward, Celestial Lamore's got a show coming up. What is this? This is at the Post. Cool. Thursday, March 27th. So that's a month away. No reason to even bring that up. And then March 5th, next Wednesday, Tips and Obermiller First Wednesday Song Swap at the Cicada. So went a little further than the regular weekend stuff, but I saw those and I'm like, you need to know about this. And then here's one that I thought was special and near and dear to my heart because of the location. Big D's Barbecue out in Pelican Bay. You know where Pelican Bay is?
No, but I'm seeing the band Pelican soon.
Well, if you've never been to Pelican Bay, it's a real treat. It's out there kind of close to Azle, next to the lake. Time to get out and party at Big D's Barbecue and more. Special discount drinks for ladies.
We have that too.
Ladies' Night tomorrow, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the one detail that they put in their Facebook event was, join us for a fun night with friends. So there you go. Cool. All right. Well, you're here, so you get to read it off. That's your event. Tell us about it.
It's in Arlington, still Tarrant County. The first ever Hooligans Comedy Night, hosted by me. It's going to be a monthly show at Hooligans in Arlington, right next to Twisted, downtown Arlington. First lineup is going to be Crux Crawford, Tyler Cade, Cody Swindell, Kenny Lee, and Andy Franklin. All booked, promoted, and hosted by me.
Cool, man. Is this the first time you put on a show in a while?
Yeah. Last one I did was, Laugh Your Mass Off at Main at Southside. That went away.
Oh, wow.
Then I stopped producing shows.
Okay.
Because I was like, well, might as well take that as a sign.
People need to know who our guest is today because we did not get into that. But you are a very, very talented local comedian. And what did I say one time? It was either the description for the episode or a post I made. I said something about a talented comedian, and you were like, not a fair description. You kind of busted my balls a little bit.
Oh, probably, yeah. It was a long time ago.
You're a comic, though. That's what you do.
Nah, it's all in jest.
So, tell people about you being funny.
I've been doing comedy about 15 years, all around DFW. I ran some open mics for a while, first at Moon Bar, then Aussie Rabbit, then at the Grotto, all three places, rest in peace. Then I moved on to producing shows, first at Sunshine in Arlington, then 2 different runs at Dr. Jekyll's in Pantego, which is a cool little beer spot. They've also started brewing their own beers. Check that place out. Love those guys. And then when Main at Southside opened up, I was contacted because they knew I put on comedy shows and was like the only comedian that hung out in Fort Worth. This was back when Fort Worth had nothing of a comedy scene. And then the shows at Main at Southside, my buddy Alex Gaskin, he thought of the title, because I can never take credit for it, because I'm not a liar. He thought of Laugh Your Mass Off. And everybody was like, that's a great name for the show. I'm like, yeah, my buddy Alex thought of that.
It's really
and
good.
Then we had a great run of shows there. I booked exclusively touring, headlining comics that were on the road. And, pre-pandemic, there were comics just out there on the road, just happy to get whatever shows they could. And most of my shows were on a Sunday or a Wednesday because it was a music venue. And they're going to make more money Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays.
Right.
And I think once or twice I had like a Friday or Saturday show because it was just too special. Mm-hmm. I was just like, and I could charge a cover because the shows were, you have to pay a door guy. So you're already negative $75 there. And I just kept it free and then took up tips at the end of the show. Plus the venue kicked in money so I could guarantee some level of pay for all the comics.
Oh, that's good.
And the comics on the road that could headline the show, they were more than happy to get any, because they're probably on the road to or from Austin or Houston on like better, more lucrative shows on the weekend. And DFW is just, we're not that relevant of a comedy scene. Yeah. More so than we have been, thanks to Ralph Barbosa. But, just in general, we're just a place with 8 million people that you can maybe do a show. But on the independent level and the more, if they're coming through and headlining a club, yeah, obviously, we have 8 million people. We have a lot of comedy clubs. But the comics that are, not at those clubs but are on the road coming through And me, with my buddy JT Habersat down in Austin, he has vast network of comics. He's always touring. He'll go out on the road with Eddie Pepitone, who I also had him and Eddie Pepitone at Mass twice. And that was like my big get, was having Eddie Pepitone. And if you don't know who Eddie Pepitone is, you have heard him. He does tons of voices, loud, boisterous New Yorker type. He was in The Hangover. He was one of the old guys that, their weird crew that they were recruiting for their frat. He wasn't Blue, but he was the other slightly older guy.
Okay.
But he's definitely been on Bob's Burgers and just been like a loud guy, like, wow, he's hilarious. Like when you see him, like you're going to be like, this guy seems familiar. You've seen him in things. Gotcha. He was been in an episode of It's Always Sunny. He's like this guy that it's like he's in one episode of everything almost. But especially a lot of voice acting.
Best place.
And a sweetheart of a guy.
Tell us the best place in Fort Worth to go catch live comedy.
Right now, talk about for open mics, I really enjoy the Southside Cellar. That's my baby.
Ian?
Ian Mack hosted. I'm the one that created the mic. Never wanted to host it because I just don't want to host open mics ever again, unless they just pay way too well.
Which will definitely happen.
I mean, and then for just shows, as of right now, we have the 2 comedy clubs, Hyenas and Big Laughs, or Big Laugh, singular.
You're not going to pick one for us, huh?
Just depends on who's there.
Yeah.
You're going to get you're going to have your 2-item minimum, and it just depends on what comics they have there.
Both good stages.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And Big Laugh has both comedy clubs have a small room and a big room, which a lot of clubs, don't really have. They just have the room, but when you can have like a smart, because you'll have like a headliner come through and they're may not going to sell tickets to fill up your 300-seat room, but they can sell enough to fill up like a 100-seat roam.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool that they have that option too. That way you can have 2 shows going at once.
Yeah. Madness. Let's listen to this one read I got queued up for us. That's not it, Andrew. There we go. Oh. That's not going to work at all. Let's see.
State Fair.
Yeah, that's all right. So we're not going to do that one today. No problem. Moving on. I did want to give a special shout out. We've got some international listeners. If you guys don't know, Fort Worth Roots, 99% of the people that listen to the Fort Worth Roots brand, we've got so many different shows going on right now. But the morning show, our weekly episodes, all that. 99% of that happens right here in Fort Worth as far as people that listen and enjoy our content. But every once in a while, we get somebody from across the big pond. And I wanted to shout out our new friends in Frankfurt, Germany. It says Frankfurt AM Maine, and I don't know what the difference is there. So there's that. We got 6 more in London, Madrid, and Paris over there in Paris. So wanted to just mention that because that's really cool. It's a Fort Worth-centric podcast, but for some reason, people abroad are finding some value in it.
And just so you know, you guys over there in Europe, we do ride horses to work and school. And
literally.
We do that. We wear cowboy hats all the time. Obviously, we can't wear them now because we're in headphones, but we are that.
Our cowboy hats are right behind the camera.
On the rack, as we all have. Our horses.
Tied up with water.
Tied
you made sure that
they got their cud.
You made sure Pistol had his water this morning.
Yeah. Pistol's good.
Yeah, good. And then our friends over in Sydney were about to be like, wait a minute, he didn't say anything about us. Just says Sydney, Australia.
Those Texas drawing goes.
And then here in the U.S., outside of the Fort Worth area, there's a lot. There's Seattle. We got one up in Seattle. It just says Longmont. It's not very descriptive.
Tossing salads and scrambling eggs.
Maybe. Fraser. Yeah. Atlanta, Georgia. Addison, but not our Addison. Way up there by the Great Lakes.
Oh, Illinois.
Maybe.
That's where my favorite comic, Kyle Kinane, is from. Because I saw him at the Addison Improv, and he's just like, I'm from a town called Addison in Illinois. He came up through the Chicago scene.
Okay. Well, that might be him.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, he lives in Oregon now.
Okay.
Could be his parents, though.
Well, I thought, maybe he knows.
Kinanes.
Maybe he knows you're coming on the show, and he wanted to see what it was about.
The one time we hung out and drank in 2022, yeah.
Toronto, Columbus, Ohio, Ashburn. Cool. All right. So anyway, I just think that's fun to look at who's listening to the show outside of Fort Worth. Hope you guys are enjoying this. If you have any kind of suggestions for us for the morning show, for our weekly episode that we do on Tuesdays out at McFly's, or anything else that we produce on the Fort Worth Roots brand, just email us, media@fortworthroots.com. You have no idea how much we would love to hear from you. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, big round of applause for Brian. He did such a great job today as a co-host. But you guys can sit here too. If you're somebody doing anything inside the city of Fort Worth, holler at me. Let me know you'd like to be on the show, and we'll get you in the seat. It's always great if you can show up to promote an event, a book release, an album release, a single you're dropping, whatever. If you got something to promote, that's really the time to come on, but you don't have to. So let me know. media@fortworthroots.com. Big thank you to Michael and Holly, the owners of Hoppin, where we record Monday through Thursday for the morning show. Hoppin is a new venue, rad little spot right down the street from Doc's Records, right next door to Blackland Distillery on Weisenberger Street. They got 58 taps on the wall. It's a self-serve tap wall. You come in, you scan your little armband, it activates the tap, and you only get charged for what you pour in there, which I think is cool because I don't like most beers. So I can pour myself an ounce of something, try it, and go, nah, that tastes like shit. I'm moving on until I find something I like. So that's one way to put it, Andrew. You could say something like, go down the wall and try everything and see what you like the best.
Make yourself a suicide.
Oh, God, with beer? I guess that's the thing. People mix stuff.
Yeah, it all tastes. It all eventually tastes like an IPA, anyways.
Damn, that sounds terrible.
Stop with the IPAs. You can't chug them.
I was at Martin House Brew a couple weeks ago now, and they've got so many strange flavors on their wall, and they're crushing it. They're crushing the craft beer game. So
I had one of their wings last night. I wasn't drinking last night, but I was at the Tub. And I was like, what do you have non-alcoholic? And they had it was like a margarita flavored seltzer water. Very good.
Was it?
Yeah, made by Martin House.
And it's an NA.
Yeah.
Cool. I tried their McLovin, which is a 10%.
It makes you, that and like any non-alcoholic beer, it makes you pee like beer though.
Oh, really?
And so it keeps, that going.
Huh.
So
if you're just looking for an excuse to go to the bathroom, NA drinks might be for you.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to get messed up, but I want to pee like I'm chugging beers all night.
I feel left out. Everybody else is getting to go to the bathroom. Yeah, but I think my favorite thing on their wall right now is the McLovin, but you got to watch out for that thing because it's dangerous. 10%. Yeah, I don't know. Probably two for the max, I would think. I'm going to scan through my emails real quick just to make sure nobody hit us up while we were recording with some last-minute stuff. But
it is too early for emails. The sun is barely awake.
I got one of those, the call-in that I played earlier.
Yeah.
That one came in at like 11:30 last night.
I got an email, but it was something with a bunch of weird characters, and it loosely said the word Ozempic. Ozem-pic _ delivered to your HO space U space S space capital E.
You should log into that. You should click it.
Spam. There's so. Oh no. Okay. It doesn't say generic. Okay. Generic ! OZ Empic 2 exclamation points.
Sounds legit. Hey, this Saturday out here at Hoppin, they've got their Mardi Gras. It starts at noon. Crawfish boil, live music, and beads. What do you got to do for those beads? You got to show up. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do to get them beads. Wild Fork. Mid-Cities Animal Rescue is going to be out here on Sunday, March 2nd at 4 p.m. They're doing a meat raffle. You come in, put your name in the hat, and they're going to have a ton of high-quality primo beef out here that you could take home with you as
hot dudes.
Yeah, I don't
primo beef, baby.
I think that's a different meat raffle you're talking about.
I'm straight, but I love hanging around hot dudes. Who doesn't?
Verdict's still out on that, Brian. Shamrock Social, March 15th. That's going to be from 2 to 8. Let's see, 20 vendors, food trucks, live music, flash tattoos, vintage clothing, and drinks.
They're only tattooing the Flash? That's stupid.
I guess so. Emo night. They're doing an emo night here at Hoppin, March 8th,
Hold them
9
to
p.m.
this.
to close.
Don't allow any metal. Don't allow any alt rock. Make them play emo. And when they play something that's, okay, post-hardcore is allowed. Metal, no. They throw in like some 3 Days Grace or something. No, make them play emo. When they don't, you slap the DJ. Not playing emo.
I will do my absolute water level best for you, Brad.
I saw an emo night poster, and it was like a skull with a mohawk, and I'm like, there is one hairstyle associated with the genre of emo, and it is not a mohawk. That's poser crap.
We had no idea you were so passionate about this.
I have a closet. I'm wearing my favorite band shirt Rest in peace every time I die. But Better Lovers is around. There's one haircut associated with emo, and that's the swoopy black hair, almost across the eye. There's a definitive hairstyle for emo, and it had a mohawk, like a Sex Pistol, 70s mohawk. And I'm like, that's not emo. That's punk rock,
Wow, we really tapped into something probably rooted to some type of childhood trauma.
I can just keep going.
Yeah, I bet you could.
I got the coffee, but my cat's
Ladies and
also
gentlemen,
gotta
thank
get
you
fed.
so much for joining us for this morning's episode. We are out for the rest of the week. Go out and support some local businesses. If you have anything you need from Fort Worth Roots, our email is media@fortworthroots.com. As you move through today, we hope that you will choose love and gratitude every chance you get. Till next time, folks.
Support comedy.
Good day.
Every day in the morning.